Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with Rad Part Series. We're going to film another episode today, and today we're going to talk about the Keirsey power steering kits that we offer. In this series, on each part that we do, we're going to talk about the development behind it, pros and the cons. Today on the Keirsey power steering kit, we're going to talk about how we developed it and my personal experience with it on my race car. And then we'll talk about the Elite power steering kit that we offered that's a little more cost effective for those people that are trying to get a good package deal and a good price. So here we have the bracket. This is what holds the Keirsey power steering pump. We do all our machining with Sleeper Design, and he's really good at the fine details. I wanted to show you the back of it. So this flange nut drops in right there, and then as it slides forward, it's kind of machined in there, so it can't, in these grooves, it can't fall out. So when you're on this side, you bolt the pump to it, and then you'd have your through bolt go through the pump into this flange nut that we had in the back of those grooves. And then since we have the knurled edges there, you just tighten this down. You don't need a second tool, and then the bottom half is threaded. The reason we have this archway here is for when the pump is bolted on, it's for the tension that you'll use to tighten your belt. We also offer this bracket in black, anodized, if you guys are interested. How did this kit come to be, and why are we selling this kit to the public? It's because my personal race car and customers' cars that we had so many issues with, either a stock JZ pump, which is a good pump on a street car, but not so much on a drift car, or a competition car at the track. It might be doing like road racing as well. Stock pumps overheat and they just blow up, and like you'll just continue to put new stock pumps or reman pumps on your motor, and on top of that you're gonna spit the belt off. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Besides the stock JZ pump, another good pump to use is the MR2 electric power steering pump. If you have a lighter chassis, you can get away with it, but then you need a super strong alternator because that draws near 75 amps when it's under load. That creates another issue. You need a larger alternator. I did try that on my pro car in 2015. I didn't like the way it felt, and there wasn't much you could do about how heavy the steering was. And then when you're in a parking lot or just leaving the pits and you go to steer, it's real heavy. So those are two things I didn't like, and they still burn up and blow up. And there's an adjustment screw on those, and you adjust it all the way, get your steering a little better, and then your pump blows up shortly after. So it's like, okay, how do we get something better? And that's when I started looking into other aftermarket pumps and companies that build a lot of power steering components. So came to KRC, and they have a lot of options for pulleys and adapters and stuff, and they did make something like a crude version of this, just like a plate of aluminum, so you could like drill your holes and then drill 2 more holes once you found the exact placement of the belt, and you would have a way to do it. But we wanted to make it easy, user-friendly, and we took care of all the thinking, so all you do is buy it and it just works. That's kind of the development behind it. And then we came up with a second kit that's the Elite kit. So it uses all the same bracketry and belts, and it still gives you the option of all the different jets, so you can have driver preference of the feel. Here's the Keirsey Pro Series 3 pump. This is the best pump they make. This is the flow jet, and there's one that comes in the pump, which is kind of like the neutral one. Then there's 4 below it for less pressure that step down in 4 increments, and then 4 above it for more pressure or volume, less feel. So when you buy the kit, you're gonna get a pump, all the supporting parts, all the jets. We'll go over that in a second. Real quick, I wanna talk about, there's 2 different pumps. So this is the Pro pump. There's also the Elite pump. The Elite pump is Keirsey's answer to making the most cost-effective pump that'll still have the same bolt pattern and go on to like similar applications. If it wasn't for us, with a 2JZ bracket, it's for other guys that are using it on a different motor. The differences of that pump is it's slightly smaller. It needs a bracket that goes behind it. So there's a little bracket will go behind it when you're gonna bolt it onto our bracket to make it have the correct spacing for the belt to be lined up. And also this pulley on the Pro pump has little keyways in it so it can't slip. On the Elite pump, you would have to press fit the pulley on there, so it's kind of like once on there, you can't really just remove it and switch the pulley to a different size, which you wouldn't have to, but if you were switching it to a different motor, maybe you would do that. So anyways, this pump is probably the most reliable and versatile pump that they make, but it is also the most expensive pump. So that's why we came out with the Elite kit for someone that's not quite as serious and doesn't want to spend that kind of money, but they still want a pump that can offer better than OEM application. Let's move on to each part that comes with the kit or with both kits. So here we have the pulleys. This is the pulley I was talking about that's already on the front of this pump. It has the keyways in there. This is for a pro pump. And then this is what will go on your front crank pulley. This will go to your ATI damper, and then this one will bolt on front of that. And then you have your belt system. I'll show you guys this on the car in a little bit here. And then I was telling you it comes with jets, so you have the 4 increased volume jets, higher pressure volume, right here. And then you have the less, decreased. So these ones would make your steering progressively heavier. These ones would make it progressively lighter. And you would have to kind of go for what feels best for you and works for what you're doing with your car. Also comes with a belt. That should be self-explanatory, 1 belt. And then it comes with 2 quarts or liters of fluid. And we've put all these parts together with KRC, and because we've bundled it, we can offer it to you guys at a cheaper cost, and it includes the bracket. So it's a win-win for you guys, and it's pretty effortless to install. Real quick, I want to show you guys the stock JZ, and we'll start talking about the pros and cons of this system. Okay, so here we have stock JZ motor. This is your stock power steering pump right here. These are known to wear out, and they also are known to spit a belt when you go to full lock on a drift car. The tensioner will kind of kick back and the belt will jump off. Our kit will eliminate that. You won't burn up the pump, and you also won't spit the belt off and then have no steering. Some of the positives are that you have multiple choices for power steering feel. You also have a pump that's easily rebuildable. You send it back to KRC, and it's much more reliable, and it's going to last a lot longer than a stock one. And you aren't going to spit a belt off, and it's going to look better. If you're going to say the cons on the system is that it won't bolt to the OEM location, and you're forced to run it with the secondary belt, which bolts, the system to your ATI damper. If this was, it would bolt here, and then your KRC pump would be more in this area. The cons would be that it's like a race car only part in a sense, or you need extra space and not having AC, so it can't really work on your street car unless you're gonna eliminate some things and add some things. But if you guys wanna see how good it looks and how it works, let's go check out some customer cars and my competition car. Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi, Dan.
Okay, so this is a customer. His name's Rory. This is Rory's car. He wanted a replica of my Pro Drift car, so this is the closest replica car that we've done to Big Blue. His car's still in the process of being built. Hopefully we'll finish it up here in the next couple months. But this has a good representation of the KRC Pro kit on here. So as you can see, the ATI damper has the one little bracket bolted to it, and then the pulley bolted to that, which lines it just perfectly up with the pump and this pulley, and tightened it down like I was saying on the little archway there. That's how it works. So now you have a good visual of it. It's quite simple but effective, so there you have it. And then we could go take a look at my Pro race car and see a very similar setup, and then you guys will have an idea of what you're getting if you get one of these kits. All right guys, so here we are with my Pro race car. This is how much I like the kit. It's installed on both my cars. Here it is on the race car. Nice and clean. This kit's super reliable, so if you're new to the channel, the Pro Race Car is everything we can do here at the shop, like 1,000 wheel horsepower, the most potent vehicle we have. The kit's on this car. Then for me to practice, I drive the Practice Supra, which is not quite as potent of a car, but it still has the same Pro power steering kit, and it works really good, and I hot lap that car over and over and over, and I never have any issues. So it's been tested, it works good. I know it's good for you guys too. Guys, stay tuned, because in the near future we have more action of this car at the track, that car at the track, and we're gonna continue with the parts series, so more parts series videos coming soon. And if you guys wanna support the upcoming FD season, we have our new team jerseys. Pretty cool, so if you wanna support the team and or rock some rad merch, go check it out on our website. And for those of you that have projects that you're working on at home or at a shop, don't forget Rad Industries has over 500 parts on our web store, so go check it out. All right guys, until next time, see you later.